Same shit, different day today. Why? Because we're being consistent. Consistency is the name of the game. I'm gonna talk to you guys a little bit about the start of my journey today, how I got to where I'm at today, and what was the actual pivotal moment for me in my life that set me on this path. Because I need to document exactly, even for myself, what was it that brought me here today? Because within remembering those things, there's powerful messages that I can reapply into my life today. Cheers. So when I was 18, I made the decision to go to the Marine Corps because I felt like at home I had no freedom. I had no freedom to create my own choices, to have my own decisions, right? I felt like I was always being decided for. Everybody was always making a decision for me. So my decision-making skills were not the best. I guess you can say that's why I joined the Marine Corps. Joining the Marine Corps, I thought I was gonna have more freedom, make my own choices. Probably laughing looking at this now and thinking, well, this guy's an idiot. Found out when I was consistently having dirt for breakfast every morning for the next 3 months of my life. But you know what? It was actually a very, very pivotal moment in my life. I found something that I hated more than being at home, not being able to make my own choices, you know? At least this time around, I was getting paid to get yelled at and not make my own choices. I spent 4 years in the Marine Corps, right? And before I get to that, let's backtrack, right? When I was still at home telling people, like family, friends, that I was gonna go to the Marine Corps, that I had enlisted in the Marine Corps, they would all look at me like, what do you mean? You're going to the Marine Corps? I'm like, yes. And they couldn't believe that I was gonna go. Like, they couldn't believe this scrawny ass kid from Norco, California was gonna go to the Marine Corps. And I was telling you, I was scrawny as hell, skinny kid. Not a lot of self-esteem. I played sports. I had history of playing sports, sure, but you know, nothing crazy athletic of me. You know, I was just the average kid. And so I think that's why people couldn't believe I had actually made the decision to go to the Marine Corps. Hell, I couldn't really believe it. But I knew something deep down told me I needed to go. I needed to make this decision. College wasn't an option for me. I sucked at school. I hated high school. I knew I didn't want to do another 4 years of school and then transfer to a university. Everybody was doing that. Everybody was doing that. Everybody was complaining about, well, you know, they're hiring people with experience now rather than with degrees. And in my head, I've always been a logical thinker. I'm like, well, yeah, no shit. It's a piece of paper versus real life experience. What did you fucking think was going to happen? So I didn't want to end up like that. I wanted to go get experience. Now, I didn't know what experience I was going to gain, but aside from experience, I needed to gain self-respect. I needed to gain the ability or the knowledge, the confidence of knowing that I did something that I said I was going to do. The first time in my life I said I was going to do something and there was no change in my mind about it. People were telling me, well, there's better choices. An ex-girlfriend of mine, her mom, was trying to get me to stay and go work with her brother because the job I had chosen at the time, I thought I was going to be a mechanic. I ended up being a motor 2 operator for the Marine Corps. But at the time, I thought I was going to be a mechanic. So her mom was trying to convince me, along with her, of course, to stay and go be a diesel mechanic with brother. Fuck that. Did not want to do that. Not one bit. So yeah, I stuck to my guns. I was like, nope, I'm going to go. This is what's going to happen. And there's no turning back now. I've already enlisted. So the culminating event, right? Or the last event, which is called the Reaper in boot camp. It's where you climb this hill that feels endless. You're hiking for 3 days. You get a few hours of sleep in between those 3 days. And on the last hike, I felt like a zombie. I was literally asleep hiking. I remember somebody yelling at me to wake up, but I was like moving my feet still. My feet are all freaking blistered up. I don't have skin under my feet. Got rashes in between my thighs. My ass is fucking rashed up because we don't get to shower. You gotta shower with baby wipes. And it's at this point where I'm really fucking thinking to myself, I should have been a diesel mechanic. I'd never been through shit like that in my life before. I've never been away from family that long before. I was starving. I was freaking restless. Body was aching. I had blisters and rashes. Anyways, they wake me up and we're at the base of the hill, right? The start of the hill of that Reaper in Camp Pendleton. Camp Pendleton Marines are better than East Coast Marines. I'm just gonna say that right now. Anyways, I get to the top of the Reaper, you know, and when you're at the top of the Reaper, they hand you an EGA, your Eagle Globe and Anchor. This is one of my proudest moments of my life. I had finally proven to myself and everybody else that whatever I say I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do it. From then on, that's how it's been. I said I was gonna move to San Diego. I said I was gonna become a barber. I became a barber. I said I was gonna grab this car. I was gonna get this car. I got the car. I like living my life deciding or saying things that I'm gonna do and actually executing them. Everything that I said I was gonna do, I started doing it. People only take you seriously that way. If you tell people you're gonna do something, work out, and you stop working out, you've lost so much credibility, you've lost so much respect already. Forget them and their respect. You lost respect for yourself. And that's what happened to me after I got out of the Marine Corps. I lost respect for myself. I said, I'm gonna go to the gym. wouldn't go to the gym. I was too tired. I said, well, I'm gonna go market myself. I'm gonna go pass out cards. Wouldn't do it. Not to say that I wouldn't do it at all. I would do it from time to time. But when you say you're gonna do something, you really fucking do it. So, yeah, I lost the routine of waking up early, making my bed, going to the gym, PT, coming back, chow, breakfast, and then going to work. I didn't realize, I had my freedom, and I didn't have to wake up at 4:30 anymore to go PT and then go to work. But that's precisely why I went to the Marine Corps. Before I went to the Marine Corps, I didn't know I was gonna set out on this entrepreneurial journey. I didn't know what I was gonna do. Now, I didn't know if I was gonna be a 9-to-5er either, but I sure as hell didn't think I was gonna be an entrepreneur. So me joining the Marine Corps was directly setting me up. It was my training to be able to endure long hours of working without pay. Now, if you're setting out on your entrepreneur journey and to start, you understand that there is no one paying you, there's no one applauding you, cheering you on in the beginning. In the beginning, it's all about people telling you, dude, why are you doing this? You're not getting paid, you're underappreciated. Go find a job that pays you as soon as you start. You're getting a bunch of that right now. So I was already used to it. In the Marine Corps, dude, you work from the moment you got up, right? You're going to PT at 4:30 a.m. You're gonna go to chow, and then you're gonna go to work by 8 a.m. all the way down to 4:30 p.m. And 16:30 is just discretionary, which means your platoon doesn't have to let you go. You're gonna stay there probably until 8 p.m. and maybe past that. Just wait until you get into field ops too. You're working until the sun rises, and then you get maybe like an hour or two of sleep, and then you wonder why veterans have the worst insomnia. Anyways, so I was learning to work countless hours with no expectations whatsoever to go home, to get overtime, or to even get fed sometimes. It was my training this whole time. The thing that I was just regretting at the time, joining the Marine Corps, I was like, fuck did I do? The fuck did I do? I should have listened to my parents. I should have listened to all the people that told me to stay. It was my training this whole fucking time. And it's so cool once you realize that afterwards. Because let me tell you, when I moved here and I was building my clientele, I was in that fucking barbershop from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. 7 a.m., 7 p.m. Not one walk-in, not one fucking soul would walk through that door. And I was there doing it the next day. And I was fine. I was like, all right, chilling. Over here with my E4 pay, because I was on Skill Bridge, paying a crazy amount of rent. Broke as fuck. Couldn't even afford eggs and weenies at the store anymore. But I was happy doing it. I was happy because I had a plan. I was like, I'm gonna be the best barber in San Diego. And that was my plan. That's what was getting me out of bed in the morning. So in between those lines of me building myself up as a barber, that I lost my discipline. I wasn't waking up early anymore to go to the gym. I wasn't really planning anything out. I was just kind of like, because I was good at, just going without stopping, but that's not how you're supposed to do things. You have to have a plan. You have to have a strategy. Without the strategy, I started getting a little bit depressed. I was like, well, nothing's working out for me. I was letting my body go, and when you let your body go, you let your mind go too. And that was a really dark time for me because I'd experienced a lot of hardship. My expectations were not right. I didn't have the right to have the expectations that I had. And that's another thing too. You have to have realistic expectations of other people because other people are not living your life. They're not here to fulfill your dream. You only have to have expectations for what you want for yourself and set those just for yourself. Don't have them for anybody else. That's an easy setup for, feeling alone, being completely isolated. I was able to finally think to myself, okay, what do I actually want? What do I want? Do I want to be a shop manager, shop owner, or do I even want to be a barber? What do I want to do? And times of isolation are actually good. They might seem lonely and eerie, but they're necessary. They're absolutely necessary. You need those times of isolation so you can actually think clearly. You can hear your own thoughts. You can be like, this is what I actually want. If everything else fails, if I have this, I'll be happy. And I was able to make decisions for myself when I was in isolation. The best decisions ever. Now I find myself in a position where I'm booked out the way I prayed for. I have the skills that I prayed for, but guess what? Every time you achieve something, you want the next thing. You always want the next thing. That's when I hit another rock bottom in my mind, in my soul. I was like, holy shit, it never ends. I told my girlfriend this, I told my cousin this, I told my mom this. I was like, Mom, I finally got the car. Happy as fuck. A week later, I called her again. I said, Mom, it's not what I thought it was. It was such a big letdown. Everybody tells you the material things will not make you happy, and that's not entirely true. You will be happy for a set period of time, but no one tells you what happens when the material things become normal. When you work so hard to shift your life into a new reality, that the nice things that you thought were really nice are just normal now. Please do not take this the wrong way in thinking that I don't appreciate quality, I don't value quality. I do. But you guys have to understand, when you completely change your reality, things become normalized. Me having clients all day today from 11:30 all the way to 7 p.m., that's normal to me now. Before, to me, it was like a dream. I was like, man, if I had that many clients all day, I'd be happy as fuck. I'd be cutting all day, making money, listening to music, chopping it up. But now it's normal to me. I'm still grateful for it though, because I remembered what I prayed for. So I'm still grateful for all these things, but it's normal. So I call my mom and I tell her, Mom, it's normal to me now. I want the next thing. And that's when I really understood that it's about the journey 100%. Time you accomplish one thing, you're gonna want the next. And that's totally fine. You just have to be tracking that. You have to understand that. Right now, I'm in a phase where I'm planning out the next thing, but I'm keeping my expectations low. I'm more focused on the things that I'm gonna learn on this next journey. I'm already on it. I'm not gonna tell you guys what it is, but I'm already on this next journey. Got the car, got the clients. Now it's the next thing. And I'm not even excited so much about the next thing. Like I said, I'm excited about all the little things that are gonna happen in between that are either gonna bring me closer to people or separate me. Because that's what happened the first time. I was able to see what I actually wanted, who I actually wanted in my corner. It made me so much wiser. It made me so much wiser to the reality of how people operate, what their motives are. So now I'm on that journey. So there's a goal and there's a plan to get there. That plan to get there is your guarantee. Besides your faith has to be the number one guarantee. Hebrews 11:1 talks about faith as the assurance of all things hoped for and the conviction of things not seen. Now what does that mean? Think about it. Faith is your belief in something you cannot see. So it's the assurance of things hoped for. You hope for a sunny day, a good day at work. You hope for no accidents on the freeway, your family to be okay. But what if you turned your hope into faith? Because he says that faith assures you that all the things you hope for will happen. When you turn your hope into faith, you operate from a place of knowing, place of already happened for me. When you operate like that, when you move like that, you can't lose. You start to see God doing his work. You start to see him align things for you, bring people into your life, take people out of your life. He does all the heavy lifting. So faith is the number one thing to solidify your plans. 2, having the plan. You need to have a plan in motion. You need to be able to see it. How is it going to happen? Okay, like this is what I want. I want X amount of money per month. How can I get there? What can I sell? How many do I need to sell to get there? And then formulate what it is you're going to sell. Is it going to bring value? Are people going to want it again? Are people going to promote it? Are people going to tell other people that, hey, this product is good, get it? All these things, right? Part of the plan. You need to plan. You need to see it clearly before you can have it. You got to think it mentally before you can see it visually, physically. It's always mental. You have to see it, hear it first. I was having a conversation with one of my brothers yesterday, and he's convinced that he's stuck. And I told him, no, you're not. You're not stuck. That's a lie from the enemy telling you that you're stuck. You're not stuck. You need to completely shift your mindset. What's the point of living a life you don't want to live? Remember, my ex-girlfriend told me that. She said, why do you want to be so rich? Why do you want to be so successful? My dad, he did better for himself than what his childhood was. His childhood was, and this is as far as my dad and his stories that I remember go, sometimes they didn't shower until it rained. They would get the water from the gutters, and they would have to steal expired bread from the bakery truck just to eat. They would dip their bread in water, and that's what they would eat sometimes. So now he grows up, he's around my age, like about the time when I went to the Marine Corps, 17, 18 years old. He comes over here to LA in late 70s, early 80s, and he makes a life out of himself, for himself. He takes his craft, his skill in carpentry, and he paves the road for himself. Him coming over here to the States, he already did better for himself than he was destined to have. He raised a family of 6 successfully with one income. He made that happen. And now this girl asked me, dumbass question, why do you want to be so rich? I need to do better for myself. I need to do better than what I currently have, because that's what my dad did for himself. I need to set the example for my next generation. If I have kids, they need to see where I started and where I'm currently at. And I want that to be higher. I started here, came here, now I'm here. That's why it's not about being rich and having money to spend. It's about what did you do with your life while you had it, right? Before you had kids, before you had a family, what did you do? Were you constantly growing? Did you stay in one spot? Did you do what everybody else did? What all the masses did? Go to school, get a degree, work a job that you fucking hate. That's also when I knew I had to break up with that girl. It wasn't good for me. Good person, for sure. Good family. Mindset was completely different from mine. It would almost piss me off when she would ask me questions like that. And it's those things too. If you find yourself in a relationship where your partner doesn't believe in you, bro, really evaluate if that person is for you. You know, if you're a guy or a girl watching this, like, they should be supporting you. Or if they're not fully supporting you, at least hopefully they understand why you're doing what you're doing and not try to drag you down. The main thing that solidified I needed to separate myself from that relationship was the fact that she didn't want me to do something for my career because something in her mind told her that I wasn't going to be faithful. What's funny is that I ended up not even doing it. It's crazy. But I'm glad that little situation happened because I found somebody who actually supports my dream. And two, they're on the same wavelength as me. We're thinking the same. We want to have the same amount of success. We want to be that couple that does everything. So there's always better options out there, guys. Or girls. Make sure you have people in your life that really support you. If you're in a toxic relationship, get out of it. It's not worth it. There's literally billions of fish in the sea. And it's okay to be in isolation for a little while. It's fine. You need isolation. You need to be by yourself so you can hear your own thoughts, so you can grow. Thank you guys for listening. This is my first official vlog on YouTube. Next vlog, I'm gonna shoot it horizontally. I honestly didn't even plan on making this video so long. It's vertical, right? I was gonna have it for Instagram, but there's some good things, some good talking points that I had in here that I realized I want to post all together and make a full video. So next time for YouTube, I'm gonna have this nice horizontal video, make it a little bit easier to watch so you don't have to sit like on a short reel too long. But if you guys made it to the end, thank you guys so much for listening to my story. I hope it was motivational for you guys, inspirational, and I'll see you guys in the next one.